welcome to another edition of the Millwall Calling. I've got to stop sounding like I'm a cartoon character and be a bit more chilled, a bit more debonair or whatever it's called, is it? I fucking knows. You know, it is what it is, I suppose. Not supposed to curse within the first 15 seconds. YouTube don't like that. So, oh well, we've broken that rule already, but who cares? Welcome to another edition of the Millwall Calling. It's the fan interactive show. It's basically your show. You make the comments, you do what you want to do. You can pretty much tell us what sort of direction you want to go in. There isn't a lot on with Millwall at the moment, so we thought what we'd do is just have a chit chat about a few bits. Before we carry on, you can see him sitting there. It's my live co-host. It's Stephen Jones. How you doing, fella? You all right?
Very well, Mickey. Very well. For the benefit of the listeners at home, I'm not as well lit as Mickey. He's got his professional setup this evening for us, so you can see his wonderful face. There it is as he sits closer to the screen. But no, I'm good, Mickey. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Thanks for Let's just see. I can make myself look like a horror movie. No, it's just the trouble is that the reason behind this isn't fucking I'm going all commercial thingy. It's basically the problem we've got is that the light I have on above, you can see the reflection in the mirror there, and if I have that light on, it glares in the mirror, and then you can't sit here because there's a constant glare behind you. And also, look, you see, I can have a more comforting light behind me and make myself look professional. And, hi, welcome. Good evening to Big E, and good evening to Ricky Dobson. Hopefully there'll be more joining us soon. At the moment, it looks like it's just you two. So, hope your keyboard fingers are ready, mate, and you're going to be tying in. Stephen, what we're going to talk about tonight? I think we've got to talk about the... Do you know what? I honestly, Biggie, I don't know if people do. You know, I'm too modest for that. I'm not even gonna. You know, I don't even think we should really mention that. You know,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I'm just too modest. Yeah, no. Do you know what? Saying that, right? Actually, joke aside with that, yeah. I mean, fan of the board and all that, yeah. But I was having a conversation with someone the other week who did actually. I think it might have been Chris as well. But I had a conversation with someone else who didn't know that I started AMS and didn't know that I basically took it to Lewisham with Nick Hart, who, you know, God bless him, mate. I fucking drove that fucker mad, I think. You know, we're not going to go into that subject yet, but one day we'll address it on a show. But yeah, I drove him absolutely mental, and I must have driven him mental, really. Well, you've been on groups with me. I drive people mental anyway. I've calmed down a lot. You don't get many middle of the night texts, but yeah. So God bless him, Nick. Barney.
Just on that.
And all
just
of that,
on that, it was interesting the other day for the benefit of the listeners and viewers and everyone that's not privy to the group chat. Mickey was ill a couple of days ago, and we got no messages in the group. We got nothing, so we all knew there was something wrong. We all knew there was something wrong because he was quiet. But you're not that bad. You're not that bad.
I know I'm good as gold. I'm just overexcited sometimes. So yeah, but there's loads more things coming from me. So don't panic, mate. I'll be screaming from the rooftop shortly, so don't panic on that one. So yeah, don't worry, Biggie. I'll get you. You might be bigger than me, but
funny enough, Big E, he sits right in front of me in a den. He sits right in front of me.
Mate. I know where you sit now. What was the England score? 2-0 England. I think it was Kane and Saka. Wasn't it?
Saka. The second goal was a real good goal.
And to be fair, really Saka was the assist on Kane's goal too. So, good evening, Alex, and good evening, GC. Beavis and Bide. Oh, mate, that brings back some memories. I used to work on a video van years ago with Beavis and Butthead Does America, I think it was called, wasn't it? Or Beavis and Butthead, the movie, come out. You can't remember that, can you, Stephen? No,
Not really. No,
no.
no, not
Beavis and
really.
Butthead were two cartoons before, were like a cartoon before South Park, and they just were stoneheads, and they just used to do mad shit. Check it out on YouTube. They're quite funny. They're probably, I don't know if I'd find them as funny now as I did back then, but
No, no.
they were highly amusing. And they'd just be like, and they'd wear t-shirts over their head and stuff like that. So yeah, they I have to agree with him. They are legendary. Do you know what? That's one day we're going to have to do this, Stephen, because Stephen, the other day we found out that I'm 47, and I don't mind. I look good for my age, and thank you very much for all those compliments coming in.
Not.
MTV, that's
Hold
it.
on. Not the 59 that the thought you
Yeah,
were
not
the
the
other
59
week.
what the other fella said the other day. Yeah, I'm 47, and Stephen the other day rubbed it in and went, "Oh, I was born in 1991." And we were talking about the Den opening at the new Den and stuff, and he was like, "Oh yeah, no, I was born in '91." And we were like, and then when you start thinking about it, he's probably never seen like he's never seen a world without mobile phones or a dial-up internet.
Oh no, no, we had dial-up internet,
Did you have
and
dial-up?
the first mobile phone. I think my mum had it, and it was sort of about this big, the big old brick that you have to pull the aerial, a bit like what Del Boy used to have, and only fools and horses and pull the aerial up. And so
Well,
no,
my first phone was a carry one with a big battery, big like car kit, and then I went to a Motorola Tac 2 with an extended battery, where you used to carry about 3 batteries, and a little a little belt clip thing, what used to fit in. But it was probably about that big, and it flips open, and you had an aerial and that. And then I remember the rabbit ones. But yeah, anyway, we're diverging. We're just yeah, it's not a Millwall show no more. Well, there's no Millwall, so we can talk pretty much about anything. Bradshaw for Wales got to come on briefly, 20 minutes or so. I think he got, didn't he?
I think the thing with Bradshaw is it's a bit of a feel good story, isn't it? He's sort of had a bit of
You can really go off people, can't you? Really go off people. I used to like him a lot, but now, no, do you know what I mean? I'm just no. Maybe I should get my SAA license and come work with you, BE, because you look like you have a bag of fun. I could do with that. Do you know what I mean? I could look at making sure things aren't suspicious and throw people out of queues and go, "Oh, I love, yeah, in you come." So I could do that sort of manoeuvre. I reckon be a good crack and content for the show. Where the GoPro? Go on, I'm deviating. But I'll tell you, there's no script. We've got no Millwall to talk about. So for the next 5 minutes, Stephen's going to talk to us about Bradshaw's appearance for Wales.
5 minutes, Christ.
Right,
Yeah, I think it's a feel good factor, isn't it? With Bradshaw, he's had a few injury problems. He was a million miles away from the Wales squad probably this time a couple of years ago, and now he's having a bit of a good spell. The kind of streaky striker that I think Joe or Ben refer him to as he's kind of improved from that, and he's been a lot better this season, and he deserved his call up. I think a lot of fans were hoping he might get maybe a few minutes and don't get an injury, so we've got him for the run-in, and I think he got about 15 minutes. He didn't score, but which would have been nice, but he got himself back into the Wales squad. He'll probably hopefully get more game time in the next game, but not too much, so we can get him back fit for Saturday.
Yeah, shame an Arsenal player, wasn't it? In the what was that, in the Spain game, wasn't it? He looks proper hurt, didn't he?
It's the thing at this stage of the season as well.
Nicer team.
I mean, yeah, certain clubs. If Blackburn can lose half their squad, that'd be great, or Norwich or whatever. But it's this stage of the season. Your players go off to international duty, especially for a club like us. You know, Saville. I think Northern Ireland are playing tonight. He didn't start. He started the last game, but you just hope that he gets through the game, gets through the recovery, and then comes back. And Arsenal might might be able to recover because they've got lots of options. But if Bradshaw or Saville get injured, it's not good for a club like us, is it?
No, not at all. Not at all. Great for Essie to get into the England team. A fantastic player. I don't know. I think he's another one who potentially we could lose at some point shortly. I think because he's just fucking. He's just the trouble is you've got to look at our players sometimes, don't you, and go, you're too good for Millwall.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? You don't want to say it, but you sort of
No.
look at them, you just go, you're too good for Millwall, and you're going to go on at some point, aren't you?
It's not. Sometimes it's not necessarily the fact that they're too good. It's the fact that you know that the bigger fishes who can blow us out of the water are going to come circling, and we can't hold them off. You might hold them off for half a season or maybe a season, but SA, he looks the real deal. Funny enough, talked to my dad earlier. Similar comparison, they're not the same type of player because obviously Saka's a lot more developed, but left-footed, coming in off the right-hand side, young English exciting players. I think he could. That's someone that he needs to be looking at and trying to replicate what he's doing. Obviously, these things take time. Saka's training at Arsenal; they're top of the Premier League. There is a golfing class. As
I think what he says there is correct, but I think that's why we gave him a contract.
Oh, absolutely, they're not
because because compensation scheme is just shit. As we found out with Lovelace, who besides seems to be doing okay at the minute as well. So
he got called up to one of the England squad. I don't know if it was the 20. I can't be in the 21s. One of the younger squads. He was called up as well. So again, I was talking to my dad about this. The interesting thing, I think maybe SA's one.
Dad on. Because every fucking show, it's like me and my dad. So you know what? So I mean, maybe I'll just disappear and we just have the Stephen and his dad show.
I am trying.
We've got a different show. We've got a different show there. Do you know what I mean? We could just do that. I'm going to post this early. No one ever comes on, so it don't matter. If you want to come on, there's the link. Click it, and you'll come through below us. And if we like the look of you, we'll put you on. If we don't, you'll stay in the green room for all day. I think that's a simple way of putting it, isn't it? I've really got no idea of where we're going with this tonight. Have you got any questions for us? Because technically I am old enough to be Stephen's dad. What happened to Tyree Brewery? He's still injured, I think. I think he's coming back. I think he's
no. He keeps having a setback after setback. To be honest with you, I don't think it's the biggest miss, really. If you look at
controversial. That's a sound clip for us.
If Tyler Bury was fit, would Remain SA be getting in the squad?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So we wouldn't have known anything about SA. It'd have been another one that would have gone out the window and probably joined Southampton or Leicester or Man City's, group of under 18s, under 21s, and we'd have never have heard. And then in 5 years' time, he'd have been a world beater and we'd have gone, how did we lose him? So the fact that they're shining light. And on that, I think it's interesting. Ben Thompson and Aidan O'Brien, obviously. I know O'Brien was at Arsenal, but played through the academy, got into the first team, playing in League One, and they were okay.
What have you done? Because you've done this the other show. All of a sudden, it can't be because I switched that. Speak again?
Hello?
No. It happened last time. All of a sudden, your mic becomes studio quality for some unknown reason. I've got no idea why.
I'll take it.
You suddenly you blast me in my ears, and I'm like, whoa. So yeah.
But yeah, Thompson O'Brien come through the academy. It's great, but they played in League One, and now they're still playing in League One and League Two. We could potentially on Saturday have 3 academy graduates in McNamara, Mitchell, and SA come into the first team and be playing at the top end of the championship. And I think that's a testament to our, and the fact that SA has been obviously recognised. It's a testament to them, to the club.
Do you think SA coming through means Bennett will be off?
Not necessarily. I think Mason Bennett is definitely one that could be. This was brought up on Twitter. I think I think there's talk or potential talk of him having a pay-as-you-play kind of deal, which I think he knows in this stage of his career he's injured quite a lot. I don't think Burke's going to stay around regardless of what happens. So there's a natural position for SA to fill. And if Rowett's true to his word and he wants him to be a starter next year, it won't matter who's in the squad because SA is going to be the one that's going to be taking us forward.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't see you wrong there. It's all right. I'm just my Wi-Fi is blowing down a bit. I know it's all right. Another question. Bennett should go. I imagine he's on decent money and be available for 15, 20 games a season. Isn't enough. I don't think he's on that good of money.
I don't think. Sorry, Big E's come back. I don't think Mason Bennett's.
Just one thing for you there, Big E. Or two things. Mate, listen, don't get me started on there, mate. We've had loads in the group chat over the summer before he come back to us. When he left last season and then he was away and then coming back, we were moaning about his highly expensive Crocs, his dodgy Crocs, his dodgy dress sense, his, all sorts of different attire. Probably, definitely not the Millwall I know.
No, and
without going too much into detail on that one,
influenced heavily by his missus as well, that Megan McKenna, who's also West Ham as well, isn't she? So, Oliver Burke, he's I don't know, everything about him just screams that, I don't know, it's not going to work with us. I don't know. I know you can't really judge a guy for what he does off the field, but he just doesn't look like he's going to fit in at Millwall, does he? It's one of those.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. I don't think that will happen, if I'm honest with you. I don't think the board will spend massive. They'll spend sensibly. I don't think they'll spend massive.
No.
If we get,
I reckon,
into the Premiership.
I reckon you're looking at whatever money or whatever income comes into the club from whatever avenue, whether it's TV or anything like that. They'll spend about 40%, maybe 30, 40%. And then you'll have about 60, 70% just in reserve, just for the inevitable. If you don't spend loads of money in the Premier League, and even, I know we've mentioned this before, Nottingham Forest bought about 30 players and they're still under threat of getting relegated. Millwall not going to do that. We're not going to do that. They're just going to go, we'll take the money, we'll enjoy the fun. And if we do somehow manage to stay up, great. We'll look to reinvest maybe at that point. But if not, we'll go down and we'll just make sure the club's financially stable. I mean, it's
pretty much what you said there, wasn't it, Steve? So
Look, if we look, on the basis that we go up, everything changes. It all changes. If we don't go up, if you offer Mason Bennett pay as you play, I know that people will say you can get he'll get, guaranteed income maybe at League One or League Two or whatever. Fine, let him go and play in League One. It's not a problem. But if you're in the Championship and you say to Bennett, play as you play, and he accepts it, I would all day long take it, because I think he's got the quality in games to be able to win us games at this level. It's just, if you're paying him, if you give him a 2-year deal, you're writing off half of that as soon as he signs the paper, which I don't think we can afford to do at this level.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. I think I'd rather have him in the team than out the team.
Oh, I would. I think Mason Bennett coming back for the run-in. Look, we know he's not going to play all 8 games, but in a game, for example, like Wigan or Hull or Blackpool, those games where we struggle to break teams down, having him come off the bench, I'll take him over Oliver Burke always.
I see. GC, I'll come back to you, Alex, in a sec. GC says
no, and he might not, and that's fine. That's fine. If he doesn't want to accept that, that's absolutely fine. But we cannot, at this level in the Championship, afford to offer a player a 2-year deal or a 1 year, whatever it is, and know that half of it's going to be gone. Look, I really like Mason Bennett, but we can't offer him a deal. In my opinion, we just can't do it unless it's a pay as you play or something in his contract that allows us to have a little bit of flexibility. Because if he is out for half a season, you just throw money down the drain.
I fully agree with you on that one, Alex. There was a lot Ford done, Tony Craig, Morrow, Robbo. There was a lot of leaders in that team, and they gelled really, really well. It was a good period for us, and one what Omar absolutely loves that early, from early 2000s onwards. Omar's a great big fan of them those years, and he followed them up and down all over the place. So yeah, he definitely did love them, and I agree with you. Yeah, the 2-0 win at Leeds under Kenny was good, and the 4-3 was good. But yeah, no, they were pure great players. But here's one for you. Out of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players you've mentioned there, Alex, and to the rest of you, because you can see it on the screen, how many of them would you say are a Millwall legend or a Millwall Hall of Famist? Where would you put those? Any of those 5? And I personally think maybe one, but the rest of them would be Hall of Fame, not legend.
So I've gone 2 legends, 3 Hall of Fame.
Maybe 2 legends, 3 Hall of Fames. Yeah, 3 Hall of Fames. Not you. I would go.
Wait, so 3 Hall of Fame, 2 legends. You're not going to agree. I know you are not going to agree with one of them, but
I know who you've chosen.
Go on.
You because of your age, you would have put Morrow as a legend because of his goal at the playoff final.
It's not necessarily because of his goal. He scored 91 goals for the club. Yeah,
in the top 10.
I would go Alex. That Alex has got my 2 spot on. Steve Morrison and Paul Robinson are the 2 that I would class as legends. I loved Alan Dunn, great servant, but not a legend.
Yeah.
And the same again, David Ford again, great keeper, but I don't think it could hit the legendary status.
Yeah, it'd be lovely to get an Arab back in, or Qatari royal family back in, and just suddenly, spend dough like nothing else. But to be fair, JB runs this club well. He's putting in 10 million a year, but we're quite self-sufficient, to be fair. It's Big E gone now, I think, by the way. He hasn't commented for a while. He's probably gone, fuck this, it's boring.
I would rather us be the club that we are than sell our soul to Qatar or Saudi or whatever. I just wouldn't want us to go down that route.
I agree with you, GC. I think he's definitely a Hall of Famist, or definitely a Hall of Fame candidate. Absolutely, for the period in time what he done. But legend, no. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah, he did. He did want to leave.
Look, I think in football nowadays, it's a different game. I just think someone who scored 91 goals for the club and contributed in moments and in seasons as much as he did, I don't think he can be disregarded as a legend. I could understand why if we were doing a top 5 of all time and he didn't make the cut, so be it.
You call him a legend.
Yeah,
you put
absolutely.
him in the same category as Neil Harris, Barry Kitchener, Harry Cripps.
If you was to ask me, do I consider him a legend? Yes, I do. I think there's Neil Harris, and for example, Harry Cripps.
Yeah. Do you class him as a legend in your time following?
Yeah.
More so.
Because I can't.
A legend is in the whole team.
I can't answer questions necessarily about Teddy Sheringham, Paul, Harry Cripps, or people
Danny's
like
spot
that.
on.
But you can't see, and that the thing with that, right? And I talk about this all the time.
I was fan
This
on the board then.
that we ruined his day at Wembley.
That was the greatest PR trick what he could have ever done right at that moment. Because literally, yeah, okay, I understand it threw people under the bus and it threw us under the bus to a degree, but it all of a sudden stopped the media talking about what went on at Wembley, and people were talking about his comment, which, he's not a stupid bloke. And I think, he knew what he was doing to a degree, but it did just suddenly, it was weird because it was literally before that, everywhere, Sky, all of that were talking about everyone running on the pitch run. He said that, then everyone was going, Morrison was slagging off the fans and all that. I don't think he should have said it, but I think what he said was it just suddenly, it just took completely away.
It did. That comment though, so many supporters go back to that. They really do. It's something that people mention time after time after time. Fine. Maybe he shouldn't have said it. Maybe he's ruffled a few feathers with the fans. But for me, I mean, years ago, the year we got the year after we got promoted, and when we almost made the playoffs, the first season under Harris, we went like 21 games unbeaten. I went to the awards, the end of season awards that year, and on my table was Byron Webster and Steve Morrison. And Morrison always had a reputation of being miserable, he's not. He's a really nice bloke. He was absolutely sound for the whole night on the table. I was sat next to him. He was absolutely brilliant. And that obviously might influence. He's done stuff off the field. He promised a shirt to a very good friend of mine, and in one of the playoff games spotted us in the crowd and specifically made sure that they got the shirt. He's not the bloke that people think he is. And I think he took a lot of flack for a lot of the players in that squad. He was the one that would come out and say things that perhaps would rub the supporters off the wrong way, but would take the pressure off of some of our other players and take the stick off of some of our other players.
I don't think he should have said it at Wembley. I think it was just... I think Wembley fucked up. The steward opened the gate, and it's the same as anything. As soon as 2 or 3 people go, then all of a sudden everyone's going to go. So, it was what it was. And it was a great day, and I was hugely gutted that I was well up in the gods in a box courtesy of William Hill than in the Royal box where I could have been. But that's another story for another show. Not bitter at all. And yeah, it was one of them, but it was great. It was great to see all the people with, cameras and pictures and, all the images of people on the Wembley. I mean, there was a few Millwall families where loads of them were on the pitch. Like the whole family was on the pitch taking selfies and all that. It was great. No one got banned for it. It was great. The FA wanted to screw us, but, again, that's another one there. But yeah, let's come back to Alex's other point in a sec. Murray away at Scunny and play.
He was
unplayable that day.
Our second goal, where he actually flicks the ball over Murray Wallace and lays it up for Gregory to score, is one of the best bits of skill I've ever seen a Millwall player live full flow. He was unplayable that day. And look, I think I'm going to go back to the point that Alex made there about legends thrown about too much. I think it is. That's right. Legend, the word legend or icon, they're 2 words in sports that get thrown about when someone scores a goal or someone replies to a tweet or something stupid like that. I think players that have significant impact, for me, players that have significant impact on the club that the supporters are determining if they're a legend or not, whether that be for appearances, goals, off the field, community work. They're the kind of things to me that qualifies for a legend. And to me, in my opinion, the goals and the contribution that Morrison made to us during his time with the club, I think that's enough to qualify him for a legend. I know people won't agree, but that's what we do this for. I'm sure people will say to me, you're wrong, you're waffling, this, that, and the other. But that's fine, and everyone's entitled to their opinion. But for me, he is up there. I don't think Biggie's still with us.
What's that? Oh, yeah, I see what he's saying now. Max is point in a minute once I can get my mouse to work. Looks like we'll have to go on this one now. Yeah. Morrow is out there. My likings with Harris and Bob Peters. Bob Peters.
That's a weird.
I don't know whether. Biggie, you've got to tell us more about that. Bob Peters, really?
Mm.
That's a weird one, that is, isn't it? No. Not that I know of. They will try and reduce our attendance wherever we go. To be fair, they don't like.
They've reduced our attendance at West Brom, and then we asked for more tickets, and they gave it to us. They're going to do it everywhere, aren't they? You're used to it now.
Listen, right. What you've got to understand is, especially on away games, Millwall make no money from away games. It's pretty negligible. It's probably about 3 or 5%. So the away team comes to us, they get that money. And then we go away to them, and we get that. They get that money, and it's there's a little tiny bit in it, not a lot. So hence why Millwall will always try and have as many away fans at the ground, because we sell beer, we sell food, and all of that lot. Hence why there's a bar around the back of the stadium now and everything else, because it's more money for Millwall, because Millwall makes all the money out of the bar, out of the food, everything else. So the more fans are there, they don't make the money out of the tickets for the away fans, but they do out of that. So yeah, and also the FA are going to want to make as much money as they can, and the FA will not limit. If they think Millwall can bring 50,000 fans, they will want 50,000 fans in there, because that's 50,000 fans paying 50, 60, 70, 80 quid a ticket. And that's a lot of money for the FA. So, they will do whatever needs to be done, to be fair. I don't think he was alive, mate, when he was playing.
No, I did. I've got a picture of me somewhere with Christoph Kinney. I'm about 5 years old, so I don't remember him very well. But as I say, I was surprised. There are a few players and things that I do remember, Mickey. Like it makes me sound like I'm like 18.
Good evening, Darren. Where are we? No, there we go. Bob Peters was.
Yeah, but he compared him to Neil Harris. He compared him to Neil Harris.
He called both of them a legend. So I take it you're not calling Neil Harris a legend. We'll have another show this week. This time next week, we'll do a show next week. And we'll be able to talk about Neil Harris evening. We're all going to as a pod. So if there's anyone going to that, let us know in the comments, and we'll see you there.
And you can see Mickey without his professional lighting setup.
Fuck off, Stephen. People can go off a lot of people, so yeah. They're having to at the moment. They're having to sell the bottom tier before they sell the top tier through, as far as I'm led to believe, through safety. The SAG committee, which is the Safety Advisory Group Committee, they are concerned with fans standing up in the upper tier and potentially of a fall hazard. So they're looking to try and sell the bottom tiers more. It just depends who it is, I suppose. If they're classed as a risk, then Mill will probably take the risk with the Safety Advisory Group.
I tell you what's interesting with that though, because Luton are the next team to come to the Den, and I'm pretty sure they're going to want a fair few in that away end. They're going to want to
Easter Friday, isn't it? And it's going to be and it's an early kickoff as well now, because it's half 12 kickoff now, isn't it?
Sky to move to Sky, isn't it?
Mm. Yeah, I sort of agree with you there, GC, and that's a conversation off air. especially as I'm seeing him next week. I don't really want to chin it off him. Is Christian Daly a Millwall legend? Yeah, didn't he? Yeah, of course he is. He's a Millwall legend because of didn't he score the first goal? Didn't he score a goal at the
No. He got
Mother's
voted
Day
for player. Oh, he got voted for player of the season, didn't he? A couple of supporters put him down for and then he
wasn't it because of the Mother's Day massacre, wasn't it?
And also, I think he scored an own goal against us for Charlton.
Yeah. I'd love to, but no. It's one way to the trust off. So yeah, I'd love to get Neil on the show one day. It'd be great. It would be absolutely fantastic to get him on and do a live Q&A. I remember. Do you know what? That was brilliant. Right. Listen to the pod. I've done a pod with Alison, who used to be the head of medical, and that game there was a story going around, and she confirmed it as such. But that fella fell off, and the only injury he got from falling was a broken finger. But he also got 3 broken ribs, and that was only because when the allegedly, just in case, allegedly when the Metropolitan Police got to him, they thought he was dead, so they started giving him CPR and broke 3 of his ribs. I don't know if that is really, really true or not, but yeah, that's a well-known rumour. So yeah, Neil Harris is a legend and happy to be a friend of the family. So Big E, you can chat to him then if we can't secure it on the weekend. You can chat to him and get him on the show. Then that's a result. John Kerr scored first goal.
That would have been at the New Den. Yeah.
And Stephen was 2 then when he scored that goal. Yeah, he did. He was speaking about Daly on our show.
Yeah, Ricky, we were talking about one of the questions. And a little plug for Who Are You? Ricky, who's in the chat at the moment, was our guest this morning. It went out. If you're interested in doing the interview, by all means, drop us a message, Mickey, me, or the pod, and we'll get you on. We were talking about Christian Daly on Ricky's show. That's where I got that info from. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, GC was. For the whole of the first half, he was going like this all the way through the game to the West Lower, giving them all the throat slits and all this and telling them what he was going to do with them and all that, which he weren't going to do nothing. And then he climbed on the barrier, climbed on the yellow railing just as they scored, and the crowd surged. And as the crowd surged, they nudged him, and he gave us his Superman impression. It didn't go too well when he realised he left his cape at home. So, yeah. Thank you very much for that one.
Mickey, we're 38 minutes in and you haven't mentioned something.
Yeah. Listen, if you're watching this on YouTube, please oh, no, not that one. Please make sure you donate in the live... No, not that one. That's a different show. Sorry. We don't want your money. Yes, we've been nominated on the shortlist for Podcast of the Year, believe it or not. Little old us. We are up against Sky Sports News. We are up against BT. We are up against James Richardson, the voice of Football Italia, which Stephen probably can't remember, but we can. Oh, look, we've got someone coming in. Keep your phone straight, and we'll bring you in 2 minutes.
It's Ricky, I think.
It's
Ricky.
Yeah, it is.
It is Ricky. Yeah,
we're up for an award. You can find it on our Twitter account. It will be, if it's not there at the moment, it will be pinned, and you have to have an account. That's they're doing, that are doing, unfortunately. And you just register, give us a vote. But why do give us a vote? If you can go into the Equality and Wellbeing podcasts, there's a podcast in there, what I posted about earlier, which is, it's basically, it's a school that does a podcast up in the West Brom area, West Midlands area. And it's run by a teacher called Adam, and it's run for, it's autistic kids what do all the interviews. And they have some big names on. They've had Sam Allardyce, they've had some cricket stars, some other stars, athletic, quite famous people, really famous people, a lot more famous than we've had And it's worth a listen. It's great, it's great that Adam is, getting the kids to do stuff, help building their communication skills, their confidence, everything else. They reached out to us and said, look, we're in for an award. Would you like us to promote you to our fan base? Could you promote us to yours? I haven't got an issue with that. I think it's a good move. But make sure you vote for us. We are up against some really big hitters. To even in the same sentence to say we're up for an award against Sky Sports News, BT Sport, the coach. We're also up against the guy who plays coach in Ted Lasso, and a few others. We are one of about 2 or 3, I think, independent in there. But we're that Millwall podcast. We're just 7 guys who take the piss every week and expect hopefully people want to watch us. We're not scripted. We ain't got a clue what we're doing. I have got professional lighting, poorly, as I'm getting darker and darker. Either that or I look more and more tanned. Just vote for us. Your vote will mean the world. If we can get anywhere with it, oh, mate, it'll mean the world to us. Sky Sports will just go, another award. And it'll just go like that. With us, it'll be fucking front and centre, mate. It'll be shared around all our houses. We're fucking getting open top bus, mate. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? We'll have an open top bus, mate. No, autograph day at the Den.
Autograph stand at the Den. £5 a go.
Absolutely. Let's bring. If you turn your phone the other way,
yeah.
Just turn. That's it. There you go. You see, you come on full screen then. This is Ricky, by the way. Those of you who don't know, Ricky done Who Are You with Stephen, which come out today at 10 o'clock on our YouTube channel. So if you haven't watched it yet, watch it. If you don't do YouTube and you want to watch it or listen to it as a podcast, then it's coming out Friday morning. And you'll be able to hear it as there. So what do you want to add to the conversation then, Ricky?
Well, I just thought I'd just come on and add the bottle to come on first and say hello to you. And it was a great show. About Millwall going forward. Go on then.
While you're here, what's your prediction? We've been asked from... I can't think who it was now. Who was it? Danny? No. There we go. GC. Score predictions against West Brom. We'll start with you, Ricky, and then we go to you, Stephen, and then I'll give it. And then if you've got a view in it, come in.
It's going to be tough as long as we get a positive result. I'll probably go for a 1-1 draw. It's last couple of games we played against them at their place, it's been quite tight, and I think we got a last-minute goal last season, didn't we? If I can remember correctly. I think it was Ballard, wasn't it?
Ballard scored. I don't know how late it was, but Ballard scored the equaliser at West Brom. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll go for a 1-1 draw. The next 2 games are really crucial now. Just to see if we are going to make them playoffs or not. I think 1-1. I'll be happy with a 1-1. Or shit house another 1-0 win.
I would be happy with a point. I'll be honest with you. I would be happy with a point. However, I have a feeling that we're going to go there and win. And I never usually say that, and I don't know why I'm saying that. But I just think that West Brom, their fans, there's huge expectation on them. There's huge the weight of their fans, the manager, the board. They expect them to be a top 6 side. They're expected to. They brought in Wallace and Swift, 2 of the best Championship players. They were supposed to be firing them up the league, and I think we're going to go there and win. I really think we're going to go there and win. Don't bet on it. Nobody put any money on it because I don't want to see anybody lose any money. But I can honestly see us going there and winning. And I don't usually say that. I never usually say it. Mick?
Yeah. Nope.
Looks like my batteries have run out. I think we'll win. To be fair, I think it will be the battle of Fleming versus Jed Hu, and I think we'll win. I think we'll probably win 2-1. I think it'll be 1-1, and then we'll score in the 92nd minute. So yeah, look at that stat there. Where are we?
Yeah.
Coming on, there we go. Jed has the same numbers of goals as Creswell.
Tells you everything, doesn't it? Really.
It does.
In the seasons that they're having.
It does. But I think Jed's got about 11 assists. So you do have to take some of those with a pinch of salt. I get it's fun and I understand it. I'm not, as much as I've completely lost a lot of respect for Jed Wallace over this season. He's gone massively down in my estimations. He was a great bloke at the club. I'm not taking that away from him, but this year he's gone down in my estimations. I'm not saying nothing about him or nothing. We can't make it about him. It's West Brom. It's not Jed Wallace FC. It's West Brom. We have to go there and play them, not him.
Yeah, totally agree with that.
Yeah.
It's just like, we play better without the ball as well.
Where are we, Danny? Go on.
All right. I was saying we played better without the ball. If you watch like us against Huddersfield the other week, we had the ball, but it just looked like we didn't know what we were doing with it. Slow moving. We're more like you have the ball and we counter. We're counter, but I think when we play teams like the West Broms or the Burnleys, we just wait and then we go. And it makes it a bit more entertaining. Like us watching us the other week against Huddersfield, it was shocking, wasn't it?
I think it's you're spot on. You are spot on. I think it's not necessarily. I don't know if it's the fact that it's not as entertaining. I just think the players panic. They have the ball, and our players are not built for that kind of possession-based game. They're quick one touch, quick get out of the field and have a shot on goal. And that's why, again, I think we've come off the back of. I think Huddersfield was a bad result. It was a bad performance. There wasn't anything really positive to come out of it. And I really can see us wanting to put that right. And as you say, West Brom are going to have the ball. Let them have the ball. I couldn't care less. When we nick it back, that's when we've got to make sure we make the most of it.
I just want to address something before it's accused that I'm not addressing it, whatever. Danny, I've got no issues with him at all. He's not blocked on any of our channels at all. He can look and view on any of our channels. He has blocked our channel from his. He's blocked our TikTok. He's blocked our Instagram. He's blocked our Twitter for many years now. He's blocked me across every single platform. I've got no issue with him. I think everyone's a Millwall creator. Everyone's a Millwall content who's doing it. It's a lot of hard work for what you do. And regardless of what the reason you want to do it for, if you want to do it to make loads of money, then do it that way. If you want to do it through one way or another, it's up to you. I've got no issue with it at all. But yeah, he's blocked us. He's got an issue with me for some unknown reason. What stems back from about 6 years ago at Gillingham. But yeah, I haven't got an issue with him. He's not blocked on any of my channels at all. I'm more than happy to prove that by going in, or he can go into ours. But yeah, we're blocked from nearly all these channels. So yeah, but I just wanted to address it because I didn't want you to think that I'm ignoring it. And it, some of his stuff's good, some of it isn't, some of it is same as ours. Some of ours is good, some of it ain't. So, but we're all Millwall creators. We're all sitting there doing stuff and putting stuff out there for you lot to listen to, like, hate, whatever you want to do. But yeah, where are we? Classic Warnock though. Gary Rowers should have been prepared for that. I mean, he closed Fleming down, didn't he? That was his trick. He man-marked Fleming and it just shut it down. And he played us. He played a brilliant brain, brilliant mind games all week. From the Wednesday, Thursday when stories started appearing in the paper, how much he loved us, how he loved our fan base, he loved coming to the den and all that. And there seemed to be a different news story drop every day coming up to it that you knew something was coming. Yeah, maybe.
Listen, there can be all the mind games. There can be all the Walnut tactics. There can be, you name it and say it. If Vogelsammer scores within the first 10 minutes, which he should have done, we win the game 3 or 4-0. it completely changes. So there was mind games. There was a lot of stuff like that. I understand that. I really, really do. But if Voggy scores within 10 minutes, we win the game comfortably. There's no issues. So I think you do have to take that with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I've muted you at the minute, Ricky. You can come in whenever you want. It's just your TV's playing in the background, and I don't, just in case YouTube decides to give us a copyright strike, depending what it is. It's no drama. I'll unmute you whenever you want to come, or just unmute yourself whenever you want to come back in, fella. It's not a problem at all. Yeah, Danny, listen, if you ever see me at a game, mate, come and talk to me and I'll explain the thingy, but I'm not going to be airing dirty laundry in that style on here. It's not what I do. He knows, you know, it's fine. So, yeah, if you see me at a game or something, mate, come and see me. I'm going to search for that now. Definitely.
Yeah, I am as well.
Definitely.
I am as well, Chris.
Yeah. Definitely going to search for that. So, yeah.
I think just from you know, our point of view, from, you know, as an individual, I don't know nothing about anything really in terms of, you know, the content and what he does and how he goes about his business. People can do whatever they like. I think it's, if Millwall fans, you know, Millwall fans are Millwall fans, we stick by our own. If someone does things that are not right or controversial, then people are going to speak their mind. And I think everyone, all of us, if it's us, whether it's him, whether it's TT, whether it's any of the other creators, if someone says something or does something and it's a bit controversial, you have to be prepared to take some stick. I get it. You mugged me right off with a couple of weeks ago with Luton when I was talking about Luton on the live space after a game.
No. You mugged yourself right off.
No, because you kept you literally tweeted, "Oh my God, guess what SPJ91 said." So you that was the title of the sound clip, which is fine, and everyone's entitled to their opinion. But I think everyone has to also accept sometimes if you do say things or if you do things that people have got their opinion. Like, I'm pretty sure the guy who people are going to say to me, "What you're waffling about Steve Morrison?" That's absolutely fine. People don't have to agree with me, but that's just how it is. That's what content is.
Yeah, no, listen, I think what it's about is the way that we do it. It's unedited. It's banter. It's just having a laugh. That's our style. That's what we do. And we wanted to make sure that we were different to everyone else. You've got Nick, who does match commentary. Didn't want to do that. That part of the market's already catered for. So it is what it is. You've got the Millwall drive home with TT, which is fantastic. With him and his boy in a car on the way home. Again, that's done. It's covered. You've got Lions TV, single person on camera, talking, match blog, etc. Again, it's done. No one was doing what we're doing. Still now, no one does what we're doing. A panel, there's 7 of us now, started with me and Omar and Neil through lockdown. We used to do Friday Night Live. No one else is doing a live show. No one else is doing what we do. And that's it. We're all different. We all cater for our individual niches. Yes, our numbers are growing massively. YouTube numbers are growing. We're nowhere near where his, 20,000 odd subscribers are. We're on about 1,300 now, and it's growing nicely. So I'm happy for that. I used to go on Nick's show. I love Nick's show. I've always wanted to do a pod for ages. And to be fair, me and Omar were sitting on the idea for about 2-3 years before we done it. And then lockdown happened, and it was both, we were just missing the chat, conversation in the pub, etc. So we done the live, and then we started doing that, and then doing everything else, and then went from there. So yeah, no, it's all
Mick,
good.
sorry,
it's quite funny.
That
Go on.
That last comment from Big E, that's brilliant. Do you reckon the club will go for that? Big advert on the board?
Yeah, it cost us. Yeah, no, it cost us. We'll have to sponsor a match, or we'll sponsor a match ball or something like that. It will cost us, but yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to have the programme still, so you get the centre spread, and then you get the big advert, or sponsor the goals, or sponsor the the corners. So every time a corner happens, the podcast is up on the big screen. If we can get making bundles and bundles and bundles of money, and then we can reinvest it. Do you know what I mean? Fuck's sake, if we make bundles and bundles, we'll buy a box, mate. We'll invite you lot in every week. Do you know what I mean? It's all done. So Go
One
fund.
thing.
Hey, you do it then, Bigger. You can do Go Fund to get us those banners on the side of the pitch, on the corners of the stand. Yeah, they're 25 grand. And the flags are about 1,700 quid, I think. But they're about 25 grand for the season. That would be fucking cool, wouldn't it? To just get our logo blasted on the side of there, mate. That would be unbelievable. Now, that would be good, but it'd have to be an away game, as Hoff and the Millwall RAF done probably the greatest bit of football bantery ever. To this day was superb, wasn't it? So yeah, we'll see. Right,
one thing just
before an hour. Go on.
One thing just before we may have to do a separate show on this. We didn't get a chance to talk about it. 25 years yesterday since Neil Harris become a part of Millwall. For me, and I'm sure everyone was talking about it in the chat, and Harris is a legend. I'm really looking forward to the evening with him on Wednesday. But I just think it's worth mentioning that 25 years ago, probably in my opinion and in my lifetime, just to be clear, the best player or the most iconic player I think I will ever see in a Millwall shirt join the club. So, I think it's just worth mentioning that.
No, definitely. And I think maybe I've got loads of Neil Harris's goals, to be fair. I've got pretty much through Jonesy, who used to be on YouTube before someone was copying his stuff. I've got permission to be able to post his stuff. So I'll look through and build up the Neil Harris, and maybe we can watch back a lot of the Neil Harris shows, the goals, and try and pick maybe the top 5 or the top 10 Neil Harris goals going forward. So it will never get beaten, mate. Right. Ricky.
Yes, mate.
We are going to be tying this up. So, look, thank you very much. If you've not checked out his show yet, Who Are You is available on YouTube and as a podcast on Friday. Why should they listen to it?
Well, like I was doing it with Stephen, it's a bit different. My journey might be a bit different to other people's, where it might have been like someone's dad's like taken them, but mine was like my mate took me, and then I followed football, and it's just a little bit different to maybe someone else, and a couple of funny stories about my lucky hat and stupid things like that, little quirky things. Just makes we're all different. We've all got. Oh, I loved it, and like I was saying on the end of the podcast, I brought up about mental health issues that, if you don't mind me saying on here, that I have got it. Okay. And it's about making a bit of awareness about it, especially men's mental health at the end of the day. We've all got to start talking, don't we? And like, as a Millwall community, let's work together and get everyone through whatever issues or you've got in your head, whether it's to do with family or work. Like, we're all here. Like saying, I'm on Twitter and that. Messages.
I totally agree with you. We've all got our own demons. Mine are 6 guys who work on the podcast. But no, Stephen, got anything you want to say? We're going to go over 60 minutes now, so this will be a nightmare for me to edit now. But hey ho.
I'm going to keep talking for 40 seconds just to make sure that it does. Now I know that over an hour.
No, he's not.
He won't.
I knew you were going to do that. You need a new trick. No, I think what Ricky said there was absolutely spot on. I think everyone's journey as a Millwall fan is different. Everyone's life is different. Everyone's opinions are different. And me personally, I've done a few of the recordings, obviously looking for more people to do them, but it was great to talk to Ricky and get his perspective, his views. mental health side of things, I think everybody over the last few years, especially with lockdown, have had a lot of things to take on board, a lot of things that they've had to go through. And again, it's not just for Millwall supporters, it's for anyone, but especially we are a family. Reach out to us, reach out to the pod. We're all here for anybody and that may need a little bit of help. But last things for me, I've gone over the minute now, so Mickey's gonna have a nightmare. It's great. Who are you? If you're interested in doing the show, please feel free to message us and come on. Please drop us a vote for the award. It would obviously mean quite a lot to us. If anyone's going to the Neil Harris night, again, we look forward to seeing you there. And you can clip this. We're going to West Brom away next week and we're going to win. All yours, Mick.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Something really strange just happened there. I can see all your uploading. I don't know why it's clicked onto there. My computer went a bit mad then. Hey ho. So yeah, light's gone out as well now. Loads of good comments for you, Ricky. Big E says, well said. Alex said, well said, Ricky. Chris Brown says, Ricky was a good one, like your show.
Thank you.
Yeah. See, so true. We're all different. Embrace people's differences. Exactly. Just look, we've gone over a minute now. Just to let you know, look, right. I normally work more off the podcast Twitter account than I do off my own, but I still monitor it. I still catch it occasionally. I still dig in and out of there. But listen, if you're ever in a position where you think that you've got nowhere else to go, just drop us a DM. Our DMs are open. We don't block people. Our DMs are open. We can direct you towards help through someone, or give you advice of where to go if you're in a crisis or anything else. We'll post some numbers in a bit. But remember that if you are in a crisis and things are mounting up on you, just go to your local A&E, tell them you're in crisis and you want to speak to the community mental health team, and they will direct you to the right people. This isn't a solo fight. Doing it on your own, you'll find that, the worst thing you can do is be on your own in a situation like this. Our Twitter account's open. You can drop us a DM whenever you want. And one of us will be able to get back to you, or we can get someone to speak to you. We can get you somewhere, get someone to speak to you. You've also got Samaritans and everything else. We're posting numbers in a bit. But yeah, this isn't a solo fight, and it is okay not to be okay. Just because you're a geezer doesn't really matter, mate. We still suffer the shit. It's just that we're brought up to bottle it up and deal with it and not share, when some days you might need to share. We've done a couple of mental health shows, so you're more than welcome to chat back through the shows and look at those. There are quite a few people we've had on and whatnot, but yeah, listen, it's okay to be okay. That's it. That's us for another week, few days or so. Don't forget, we are up for a podcast award, Sports Podcast of the Year award in soccer. We didn't choose the category. That's just where we are. And we would love your vote. We'd love to be able to just kick it to Sky Sports and all that, because they've kicked us over the years. Check out Ricky's show on YouTube and as a podcast on Sunday, Friday even. You have got Ben's, you have got a few other Who Are You, and obviously some back shows. Stephen, anything you want to say before we go?
No, I think we've covered it all. As I say, we're one big family and we're here for each other. So as Mickey said, if you don't want to message the group, you want to message an individual, my Twitter handle is always on the screen. I'm always on Twitter. Drop me a message. And thanks for listening.
Like a stalker.
Wow.
So yeah. That's it.
I was about to say something deep and meaningful, and you just no, it's fine. No, I'm stalking.
Sorry.
No, I just to finish on, I'll say Ricky and I had a really good conversation on his show. We spoke a little bit interaction on on Twitter after that, and talking about the games and stuff. So we're all just, it's just like mates. Just drop us a message. It doesn't have to be anything deep. It can be anything, but feel free to reach out if you need to.
if you just want someone to tell you that it's going to be a good day, just drop us a good morning, mate. And we're thingy, mate. We're always there for anyone, mate. You don't need to be on your own, mate. It's 2023. With that, that's it. I'm done. Stephen's fucked my show ready up, as usual. We will see you later. This will stay on YouTube and it'll be out as a pod tomorrow morning if you haven't called it all. So thank you very much, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.